Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Mass. I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the white pieces against an 1898 from the Philippines. Alakine Defense. Ooh, very, very interesting stuff. Obviously in the Alakine, they're looking for you to play an F5. An E5, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and play Knight C6 because we never play what our opponent wants us to play. Them's the rules. I don't make it up. And we'll go ahead with Knight F3 as well. Why not? Why not, basically? Bishop B4 is an interesting choice for them. Maybe now I would consider playing an E5. Consider playing an E5 rather than like a D3 or anything. They have to answer the question of where their knight's going, to be honest. Do you take first? It's probably the smarter choice, but then you go back to C6 and give me everything I sort of want out of the position. You'd be terrified to castle kingside, I think. So I don't see why E5 here is necessarily a bad choice. We just take outwards so we can free up our queen. It could be considered a bit of a sort of over-committed pawn, maybe, if you see it that way. But I don't think it's that bad. I really don't. They're light squared bishops. A bit tuned in. They'd have to play a B6. But after B6, again, you're further limiting this knight. Is it coming to E7? Where's it really going? I'll go bishop D3. And we're immediately looking for a Greek gift. Basically, if castles, I think we can do that. If I remember my Greek gift theory, potentially that's the thing we can do. I think we can just castle here, and we're massively up in development against our opponent. Massively up in development. Before even a C7, probably even a bishop G5 is just really good. F5 takes, pawn takes. Yeah, that we probably actually no, a knight E7 probably gives them a tempo actually to get this knight back. So maybe not. I'm not worried about this knight particularly. You know, this is still not good. They have two pieces in the way of this fianchettoed bishop, which I'm a fan of. And yeah, I'm happy. I think just a rookie one, adding another defender onto this pawn. So after like a queen C7, we're not in any sort of rush to defend. Where this bishop's going, I'm not quite sure. I don't want to put it on G5 because that allows them to move a knight back and kills any Greek gift ideas, because for a Greek gift we need the knight on G5. We could try do some pawn pushes, but I don't particularly think they necessarily do anything. H3, B4 could work, but they do have the open C-file to hit these backwards pawns, so I'm not too sure about that. Maybe even just a C4, C3 could work here, to be honest. Although knight's probably going back to E7 and then to G6, so maybe after that we do another little pawn push. Maybe haps. Do we have time for that though? C4, knight back, H4. You even could play like a H5 from them, although I'm not sure I like that for them. Knight back there. Takes, knight takes, knight takes. Bishop F4 is a potential idea. They would need like a D6. And then yeah, I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Maybe we preempt with a H4 then. Maybe that's the way we do it. Preempt with a H4. I know we said we might not do that, but I think if we got time now, you know, they're struggling. They need to decide where they're castling. I don't know if they would want to castle queenside. We have some pretty fast pawn breaks coming. We have a bishop on E3. That looks nice. And yeah, I think C4 is now a very potentially good idea. I think A3 even first, just stopping the knight going to B4 while we get C3 in. I think would be nice, and it's just giving us even more room. They've gone ahead with D6 as a break. Here potentially C4 Potentially c4. c4, knight there. Takes, queen takes. Yeah. Probably just takes, right? Probably takes. Probably just takes. I don't think we can hang on to it too much. Their bishop's still not too happy. A3 now, and we're looking for c4. We might be slightly doing in our light square bishop. They're looking at potentially kingside, queenside castling. We could shut that down potentially with even a knight g5 could work. A knight g5 could potentially work quite well, actually. Knight g5 castles, knight takes f7 is a threat. If they go for a h5, we have ideas of queen h5. They can't take because of the pin. And then what are they doing? Like a queen e7. Seems to work. C4. Knight b6. Seems fine. Yeah, knight b6 actually I think is the move. Then knight g5, h6, queen h5, queen e7, c2. Castles. Let's go c4. Let's go c4. Queen, bishop d2. Looking for a b4 could potentially work. You go there? Whoa. That can't be right. I mean, what's this knight doing here? Yeah, bishop e4 even. Bishop takes even with a rook e4. I don't want to get rid of the bishop pair, to be honest. Bishop f1. Queen takes, rook takes. Again, you've got to make decisions. Let's go bishop f1. Let's go bishop f1. Because this bishop's hitting this knight, so as soon as this queen's gone, they've got to make another decision. And that's bishop f1's covering the e2 check. That's fine. Again, they can't castle because of this bishop. So I think a c3 is fine, just stopping any knight activity, potentially looking for a b4 break. They go there. H5, we don't want to be opening up our king too much. Just b4. Takes, takes. I think looks fine. Because after h4, like, if we get this knight out of the way, they can't go to any of these squares, so they have to make more retreating moves, which will be nice for us if we can get a b5 in, which would be very nice. Bishop e8's probably coming. You go there. Now, I think you've missed the mark there, my friend. Actually, no, knight there. Oh, but we have h5. Yes, we can do that, because after knight there, There, knight takes knight there. Bishop f4. f5 takes. And we've got double isolated pawns for them. We give up our bishop pair. And we give them a route in. Which, Alternatively, h5, knight there. Bishop there. Works. f6, then you play b5. Yeah, I think that works. That works just fine as well. You don't want to be making many more retreating moves because I'm going to get lots of things out with tempo and start blasting these pawns right into your king, basically, is the grand plan. Yeah, so we'll go bishop f4. They're going to really struggle to defend this. We could be winning a pawn here after b5. Could be winning a pawn. And I'm going to take back with the knight. Am I going to take back? Yeah, the bishop's covering that. Is this knight almost trapped as well? This knight's trapped as well after a bishop c3. So takes. Bishop takes with check. And then just a bishop c... the knight can go there. But we have bishop c7. Bishop c7. Knight b3. Bishop takes, knight takes. Well, we'll just go rook b1 then. Just go rook b1. That's pretty simple. Bishop goes somewhere, you know, where is the question. Back to c8, sure. I guess would work. But then we still have, we could even take, and after takes, yeah, we would take, and then rook takes. You go there, we just get the free knight. Thank you very much, my friend. And all we have to do is win this, hopefully, within the time frame, which is, to be fair, an ask. It's not a massive ask. You know, we should be able to do it, but it is still something we have to think about, at least. Yeah. So we'll start... oh, actually, knight back. Okay, that was a bit of a waste of a move, really. Yeah. Just go there. You've got mating threats coming. It's not quite mating, but it's not nice, to say the least. This bishop's pretty securely pinned. I can just go back here and hit this pawn. You know, I want to trade off the rooks. We are up the exchange after all. And just win this bishop. It's pretty cool, I think. I hope. You know, it's still pinned. Threats of takes. Okay, fairs. We'll do this then. Do it that way. It's probably the smarter move first way around. We've got 30 seconds. So I might have to be a bit quiet here, folks. We're up the exchange. Got to be careful for checks. Ooh, should I have played that? You go there. Okay, I'll go there. That's a nasty. You go there, I go up. And just win these pawns. Probably these pawns because this is closer to promotion. We should quite confidently win this, hopefully. As long as we're not too slow. Did I make a big mistake there? I think I did. No, we're good. No, we're not. This is bad. This is really bad, actually. It depends whose turn it is. No, it's a draw. No! How have we drawn this? To be fair, 10 seconds left. It's better than a loss. Yeah, I'd take that. 10 seconds left. It's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. I wanted more. I wanted more out of that. Definitely wanted more. But that's... yeah, no, sometimes you can do it in the time, sometimes you can't. And if you bail out, you bail out. You know. Which I think is fair. They misplayed this, I think, pretty significantly. The Alekine's always a sketchy one. But they really wanted us to play like a d4 or a d3 here to cover this pawn, at which point you've got a lot of ideas actually surrounding the pin on this king. We didn't go for that. We kept playing solid, kept everything quite tight, and this here is a plus 2.0, which is significant to say the least. You know, it's wanting a knight g5 here. I don't particularly see what that's doing. Maybe just like queen activity. Yeah, I don't see what you're actually threatening, to be honest. f4 and just bring the knight back and look for an f5 break potentially. But yeah. Okay. Just rook e1, yeah, covering. h4, not the best idea, not bad. And then we had to take d6 here. I don't think there was any other real option. a3 looking for b4. Apparently that's a big mistake just because of e4. Threatening to win with the pin on the queen. That's quite a nice tactic actually. You've got double pin actually here. The pin on the queen and the pin on the king. You can only deal with one of them, so if you deal with the queen, then you just take. If you deal with the king, then you have... if you deal with the king, then you have the pin on the queen to worry about. And you can't do both of them, unfortunately. Which we missed. This is a tidy trade for us. c3 probably wasted a bit of time. But we had these nice ideas. Apparently that's the better choice, just to free up the rook potentially. But we went here, and then this is a nice sequence of moves. Gets us some material. To be fair, it's only the exchange. I don't know if do we get a pawn out of it? An exchange in the pawn. You know, which is tricky. It's tricky. We definitely messed things up. We should have just potentially even gone there. h3 straight away. Bishop h3 straight away. Seems nice. In fact, that's the best move. King c8. And you could trade off potentially here. But I quite like this, keeping the pressure on. You're potentially winning a pawn here. h6 seems like a good move to me. Oh, and then you're winning the pawn this way, which is quite tidy as well. King c7. This is a nice move as well, cutting off the connection between the two rooks. We just traded off, blah, blah, blah. And we've got a knight versus rook. The problem is we don't have many breaks. Like, our pawns are pretty much doing nothing. This one's all the way on its own. Not looking healthy. f3 here is the obvious choice. I should have just played that. They have to make a very important decision. What do you do with this pawn? And if you go like knight back, I mean, that just doesn't particularly look nice to me. I'm not sure where you go. Oh, it's pinned anyway, so you can't actually do anything about it. So it's wanting what's it even wanting? King e7. F takes, yeah, and then you've got to deal with the knight. And then what, you're up 2 pawns, 3 pawns, 2 pawns, and the exchange. So a bit more doable here. You just got to be very, very careful for forks as well, because this is a very tricky knight in a quite open position. So it's like open, but also a lot of the lanes are sort of blocked as well, which is quite tricky. But yeah, we missed the mark on that one. We won these pawns. Probably could have paid a bit more attention to this side. I say could have, definitely could have. And then this is the blunder. You know, there was no need to trade off. I panicked. You can go quite literally like anywhere else. King D1 I think works, is best. And then you just promote this. You know, you can even go take some time to take these pawns even. And then yeah, there's not much else I can do here. This is dead drawn. You play G5, and if you don't know, the king can never take. If you get 2 pawns in a chain, the king can't actually stop it. I could have potentially got this. I don't think so. I don't think I'm in time because these moved twice. If they moved once, you know, it's still, yeah. I don't think I have time enough to actually get this. If I could have got this, like if I could get this F pawn, then things would be a lot different because I can go ahead F4 all the way to F5 with check. The king can take, and then I can go ahead and march this up. And if the king doesn't take, you just keep giving checks backed up by each other until eventually something happens, basically. And then we just repeat, you know. There's no need for them. They could push one of these pawns again if they really wanted to. There is absolutely no need because we'll be in the same position, both sides. I can't take this, they can't take this, and we just shuffle between these 2 squares, really. But yeah, I'm not too upset about this draw. We got a good position. We saw some nice tactics. But exchanges are tricky things. You know, we should have got better, and I will admit we should have got a better result from that. But I think given the time as well, I'm not sure where we spent the most time. I think it was around these sorts of tactics that we spent a bit of time. Yeah, these, like when we had the nice position and just had to sort of capitalize on that the most, I think we spend too much time trying to be perfect, if you get me. We spend too much time trying to be perfect rather than just getting a winning position, which is something I might need to work on. But yeah, not bad at all. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like if you liked, please subscribe if you really liked, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye bye.